operated and used, because the console that was previously open beforehand, if it was, won't be able to look at those variables. So now you want to type javac -version or -version, and you should see an outprint, and the same for java -version. The reason why we're typing version is just so it talks back to us to see if they're there, and that works. Right, so you've got javac and java installed correctly. If you don't, then leave a comment or send me a PM, because you must have missed something. Right, so let's start with the code. Right, you're going to want to go to your desktop and you're going to want to make a new folder, call it Java program or something, and you just go new folder and you name it. Right, we're going to need 2 new files, programs, like consoles. So you go file, new text document, and you give it a name, and then you type .cmd, and that's how you do it. If you don't see the extension .txt at the end, then you're going to want to go Tools, Folder Options, View, and then you're going to want to scroll down a little bit and then go Hide Extensions for Known File Types. Make sure that is unticked and click OK, and then you should be able to see the extensions for the file types. Right, for this file you're going to name it build.cmd and another one run.cmd. For the content of build.cmd, you're going to right click and click edit up here, not edit with Notepad, because you might not have Notepad++ installed. And once you've got it open, you want to type echo off, and you want to type javac, because that's the program we're using, asterisk .java, and then pause. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit mumbled up here. Right, and for run.cmd, same again, @ echo off, Java, and this is one bit that's different from javac. Javac is going to be compiling all Java files in this directory here, because that's the directory it's just being run from. And then, alright, for this one we're going to be running a class called smain. So we make a new file and we call it smain.java. Yes, so I'd like to change the extension. Right, so that's all done. Right, so if we try and compile this, nothing happened. Ooh, I wonder why. Right, that's because there's no content in our class. Right, so first we need to identify the class's name. So we say public, so other classes can access this. You don't need to do that, so you can just say class, but just to avoid any confusion, I'm just going to go public class, and then we're going to call it smain, like the file is called. Then we put our 2 brackets, and then we say public static void main, and there's our main method. And like javac had arguments, I'll show you here, this is an argument for javac. We're going to be handling our arguments for our smain class like this, string, because it's a string of text, like I'm talking to you now. This would be stored in a string if you was to store it. 2 brackets for the array, because it's a string array, and then you type args, because that's what we're going to call it. Right, so from that we can type in system.out.print line new quotes, and then we have semicolon at the end there. Right, so here we can get it to print out some text, so we can type hello world. Save that. I usually not use Control S, but my hands are on the keyboard. Right, and we click build. Right, and like an idiot I've done something wrong. I've missed off a T. Right, that's one thing that's annoying about Java. Everything has to be perfect. If you miss out a little bit, you're going to get an error. So it's good to have concentration. Right, and what that's done is it's created an smain.class. Try and look at it. It's just a load of weird code. As you can see, our hello world bit's there, but the rest of it's just code that you can't read. Right. To run this, we've got Java, which is the program, and the command is smain. The argument is smain, so it's going to use this here. So now we can use run to run it. Run as in run.cmd, and it prints out hello world, and then it waits for a user's input, because he says there, let's see, press any key to continue. It's because we put pause there. Right, so the thing that no one ever seems to talk about is arguments. So what we can do here is we can get it to print out one of the arguments. and this will also help because it will show you just being aware of the code you're using to try and avoid crashes, null pointer expressions and stuff like that. A null is something when you're trying to request a value from a variable that doesn't have a value, it hasn't been set, like an array. So if we was to invoke arguments 1, so we can say, I don't know, hello, and then we can say plus the arg's first variable, first value. So if we do this and we compile again because we changed the code and we run, we're going to get a null pointer expression because the array is out of the index bound and that's 0, so there is nothing for 0 because we haven't applied any arguments to it and it's crashed. But to avoid this crash we can say if arg's length is greater than, did I say that right? Length, yeah, is greater than 0, then show us that string. So we compile again because we changed some source code and we run, and nothing happened, and that's because the argument's length is not more than 0, so it couldn't do this line of code here, which is indented on just a little bit in from this to say that it applies to this if statement, but nothing happened. So if argument's length is more than 0, so if there is an argument, so we go to our run.cmd, click edit, and we can add a new argument, and we can say, can't think of anything, hello. So that's our argument. So we compile it, well sorry, we didn't need to compile then because we didn't change any source code, we only changed the compilers and runners. Right, so if we run this, it'll print out hello. Hello, because that's what we told it to, it has to print out, and then the argument, which is after this colon here, which is hello. And that's how you avoid crashes, by checking if the array which we're using here actually has a value, and we did that by making sure the length of this array, which is the string array of arguments, is more than nothing, which is the 0. So this operator here means greater than. Sorry for going into a little bit too much detail with more than what the beginner user would want to do, but hopefully you'll be able to go back at this and look at this and understand some of the things. Right, so that's pretty much how you make your basic Java class and get your javac and Java running, JVM and JDK. Thank you very much.